On 9th of August, the Indian Science News Association, under the supervision of Dr. Sima Mukhopadhyay, a lead puppeteer from West Bengal, organized a workshop on the use of puppetry for science communication for their 36th batch of students representing the course Science Journalism and Media Practices.
আমরা কিন্তু মোটেও লাউ বেগুনের মতো গাছের ফল নয়, আবার মাটির তলায় থাকি বলে শিকড়ও নয়, আমরা আসলে কেউ করে আমাকে বানানো হয়েছে, তোমাদের দেখিয়ে দেওয়া হবে, ঠিক আছে? আর আমার ভূমিকা হচ্ছে তোমার এই
Puppetry is a form of theatre or performance that involves the manipulation of puppets, inanimate objects, often resembling some type of human or animal figure that are animated or manipulated by a human called a puppeteer. Such a performance is also known as puppet production. The script for a puppet production is called a puppet play. Puppeteers use movements from hands and arms to control devices such as rods or strings to move the body, head, limbs, and in some cases, the mouth and eyes of the puppet. The puppeteer sometimes speaks in the voice of the character of the puppet, while at other times they perform to a recorded soundtrack. There are several different varieties of puppets, and they are made out of a wide range of materials depending on their form and intended use. They can be extremely complex or very simple in their construction. The simplest puppets are finger puppets, which are tiny puppets that fit onto a single finger, and sock puppets, which are performed from a sock and operated by inserting one's hand inside the sock, with the opening and closing of the hand simulating the movement of the puppet's mouth. A hand puppet or glove puppet is controlled by one hand, which occupies the interior of the puppet and moves the puppet around. Punch and Judy puppets are familiar examples. Other hand or glove puppets are larger and require two puppeteers for each puppet. Japanese Bunraku puppets are an example of these. Marionettes are suspended and controlled by a number of strings, plus sometimes a central rod attached to a control bar held from above by the puppeteer. Rod puppets are made from a head attached to a central rod. Over the rod is a body form with arms attached, controlled by separate rods. They have more movement possibilities as a consequence than a simple hand or glove puppet. Puppetry is a very ancient form of theatre which was first recorded in the 5th century BC in ancient Greece. Puppetry has also been reported from other civilizations such as from the Mesoamerica, from Egypt, from Babylonia, as also from in the Indus Valley civilization. Some forms of puppetry may have originated as long as 3000 years BC. Puppetry takes many forms, but they all share the process of animating inanimate performing objects to tell a story. Puppetry occurs in almost all human societies where puppets are used for the purpose of entertainment, through performance, as sacred objects in rituals, as symbolic effigies in celebrations such as carnivals, and also as a catalyst for social and psychological changes in the transformative arts. And now, puppetry is also used very effectively in case of promoting science or in case of science communication. Puppetry is an ancient form of art that is believed to have originated more than 4,000 years ago. Puppets have been used since the earliest time to animate and communicate the ideas and needs of the contemporary human societies. Wire-controlled, articulated puppets made of clay and ivory have also been found in Egyptian tombs. Hieroglyphs have also described walking statues being used in ancient Egyptian religious dramas. Puppetry was practiced in ancient Greece, and the oldest written records of puppets can be found in the work of Herodotus and Xenophon, dating back 5th century BC. There is evidence for puppetry in the Indus Valley civilization too. Archaeologists have unearthed one terracotta doll with a detachable head capable of manipulation by a string dating to 2500 BC. Another figure is a terracotta monkey, which could be manipulated up and down a stick, achieving minimum animation in both cases. Puppets are described in the epic of Mahabharata, in Tamil literature from the Sangam era, and various literary works dating from the late centuries BC to early centuries AD, including the Ashoka edicts. Works like the Natya Shastra and Kama Sutra elaborate on puppetry in some details. China also has a history of puppetry dating back 300,000 years. Japan also has many forms of puppetry, including the bunraku, developed out of Shinto temple rites and gradually became a highly sophisticated form of puppetry. Korea also has a tradition thought to have originated from China. The oldest historical evidence of puppetry in Korea comes from a letter written in 982 AD. Thus, one can understand how puppetry has shaped human civilization and has been a part of human heritage and ancestry from long periods of time from the dawn of human civilization. Today, lead contemporary puppeteers like Dr.Sima Mukhopadhyay is demonstrating this art for students and explaining how puppetry could be effectively used in the purpose of science communication. It is not very easy to contribute towards science communication directly to the ordinary mass because many of the scientific concepts are difficult to narrate, to explain, to present, and sometimes it is found boring by the audience who are not trained in traditional science backgrounds. As a consequence, Dr. Mukhopadhyay has come up with using puppets as a very effective and powerful tool of science communication by using various forms of puppets and muppets that she has developed through 30 to 40 years of dedicated practices, in which she has generated innumerable characters and designed puppets of all forms, whether they are hand puppet, glove puppet, finger puppets, rod puppets, or string puppets, where she has developed scripts which specially adhere to the needs of our contemporary science in educating people about superstition, in educating people about various concepts like global warming, ozone hole depletion, spread of dengue and other malarial diseases, mosquito-based or insect-borne diseases, and what public could do about plastic waste regeneration and how plastic could be recycled. She has also been monumental in utilizing and using various household solid waste materials that she has successfully integrated as part of her puppet manufacturing process, and also utilizing waste materials for generating objects of art through her creative mind. It was an invaluable experience for the students to explore and understand the various forms of puppetry from historical lines and their significance to our contemporary lives. The cognitive ability of people and also people suffering from depression and other mental conditions has been found to be treated better while dealing with puppetry. So this is another cognitive area that puppetry can be traditionally used from their traditional application of entertainment only towards education and betterment of the life of people. Dr. Mukhopadhyay has worked extensively for the past 30 to 40 years in developing several scripts that fit into the process, and then design puppets based on this script to facilitate the explanation of various complex scientific phenomena, environmental awareness campaign, biodiversity conservation, information about global warming, climate change, ozone depletion, and various other environmental hazards that people needs to be aware of by the use of simple puppetry. She has been training students, and ISNA provided her this platform to once again come together with bright minds to exchange her ideas of using puppets as an outstanding source of science communication, to inculcate new inspiration among the students to come up with new ideas of communicating science to the public, so that we could disseminate science better, so that we can explain science better, and we could bring or make a transition or or facilitate the process of lab to land transition of science and technology into our common room, bedrooms, kitchen rooms, as well as into our drawing rooms. Dr. Sima Mukhopadhyay has been an outstanding researcher or puppeteer who has been practicing this for a long time and has shaped and redefined her own myths generated around puppetry in various forms, and has established now that puppetry could be used as a very effective tool for science communication. Shoykot Kumar Basu, Bureau Report, Kalinga Chronicle TV.